everybody to the October meeting of the Ann Arbor Downtown Development Authority. Maura, would you please conduct a roll call?
Micah Bartelme.
Here.
Steve Bremer.
Here.
Alex Deek. Milton Dehoney. Tyler Kinley.
Here.
Jessica Letaw. Darren McKinnon. Mike Micklon.
Here.
Theresa Nichols. And Danielle Vaughn. Here. We do not have a quorum. We can conduct the informational portion of this meeting, but there will be no voting or deliberation.
So if we are not able to approve the agenda, do we still do public comment?
Yes.
All right. Do we have anybody signed up for public comment? You'll have 3 minutes to address. Seeing none, we'll move on. We'll start with reports from city boards and commissions, please. Do we have the CIC? No CIC today. Let's move to the executive director report. Ms. Thompson.
A few things to report on. Actually making up for some of the reporting that I did not do last month. So our State Street project finished up in mid-August. That was a few weeks ahead of schedule, so that was good news. The DDA was featured in the July-August edition of the Review, which is a Michigan Municipal League publication. They did a feature on the people-friendly streets initiatives, focusing on the contributions that these projects have made towards building a more resilient downtown. We'll have copies available on your way out if you're interested. Congratulations go out to our office manager, Kelly Graves. Kelly recently completed the Michigan Downtown Association's Professional Development Management Program. This is a 2-year program that requires about 15 training sessions, culminating in a capstone project, which she completed in mid-September. At Monday night's council meeting, the mayor did nominate Angela Jackson, who is an attorney at Hoover Hathaway, to be on the DDA board. This is great news for us. That will go to second reading, I believe, at the next council meeting, which I think is August 17th. So potentially we will have a new board member, which will bring us up to 11 of our 12 seats being filled. Very important reminder that next Tuesday night is the City Council DDA joint work session. This meeting will be held at Community Television Network Studios on South Industrial from 7 to 9. I really encourage all of you to attend if at all possible. It's a really important meeting. This meeting is a requirement of our parking agreement. It's an opportunity for the DDA to consult with council on parking rate increases and also discuss any other matters of mutual interest. Staff have prepared a 3-part presentation where we will be doing an overview of the DDA and the work that we do to kind of ground everybody in just the basics. The meat of the presentation will be on the parking system, doing kind of a deep dive into the system and to the recommended rate increases. And then should we have time, we'll follow up with some information related to the DDA's renewal and how we're thinking about approaching that process. So hope you can make it. And then another meeting reminder: at our November board meeting, we will have someone from the consultant team at Walker who are doing our curbside management study, and they will be here to give an overview and an update of where we are on that study. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Maura. Any questions? Welcome, Theresa. Sorry we don't have a quorum. We're just discussing and information sharing.
Perfect.
Okay. Next up, DDA members communication. Do any members have any communications?
No.
All right. We are not able to do a consent agenda. Number 9 would be special business or reports. None. New business, we are not able to move any resolutions, so we will move on to point B. We do have John Forster, our parking consultant, here to update us on the study. So we'll get some information from John.
Good afternoon. John Forster, John Kazor with Municipal Analytics, who did all the modeling for this, is with me here as well. So go through some of this information that we've gone through a few times. We went through at our work session a couple weeks ago, where we kind of looked at what's it going to take to have the parking system continue to fund their operations and the capital maintenance, and how does that translate to rates, because everything's basically paid for through user fees. And so we had some scenarios we looked at last time. Scenario 2 was the middle one last time. And the dotted line is where we'd like the fund balances to be, so that emergencies and other issues are taken care of, that there's some money in reserve for taking care of things. The green bar at the top behind is capital improvements, which, if you can see going back, has been thinner, but we're working, the DDA is working to make sure that that the facilities get taken care of and that they last. If you don't maintain them, they will come apart. They are concrete and steel. And so that's where we're at with scenario 2 last time. It had hourly rates going from $1.20 to $1.50, and your standard permit rates going from $200 per month to $220 per month. And so, go ahead, next slide. It maintains operations, it funds capital expenditure, but those fund balances do take a hit, and they're lower than the target would like them to be. So we also presented scenario 3 last time, which gets the fund balances a little closer to the targets, but some fairly good sized increases, hourly rates from $1.20 to $1.60, and your standard monthly permit rate from $200 to $250. So pretty good bites on those two. And so the direction we kind of got last time was that we liked somewhere between 2 and 3. So we came up, well, again, 3, it maintains operations, it funds the capital expenditures, and gets us close to those target levels. But we did come up with, went back to drawing board, 2.5. And so there's a few more subtle changes in here. The hourly rate is $1.20 to $1.50. The standard monthly permit rate went from $200 to $225. One of the changes was, we had previously said meters would go up 20 cents, on-street meters would go up 20 cents every other year. We do that the first year, and then we do 10-cent increases every year. By taking that 10 cents a year earlier, it makes a big difference in the budget. And so little things like that. So you can see the fund balances do fall below with the capital improvements, but 5 years out, then the lines are starting to come together. And so that's 2.5. Go ahead. Again, slightly higher permit fees in scenario 2, but in scenario 3, we're talking about $250 per month, and I'm talking $225. And maintains operations, funds expenditures, and really starts to get on path towards those targets in the later years. So 2.5, we're trying to thread that needle where we were kind of asked to go, and so we did that. And then we have, so kind of laying it out, the scenario, those are the numbers. There was a lot of discussion at the work session about the limited permits, which tend to really be used, there's not a ton of them, but they tend to be used by service workers. And so let's keep those low. So we actually, scenario 2.5 has the lowest rate for those limited permits that allow the service workers to have a break. And you can see even by year 3, 26, 27 fiscal, that's still only $45. The standard rates, see. So at the end of year 3, the hourly rates are all at $1.80 per hour. Those haven't been raised since 2012. $1.80 is probably closer to where you want to be. Taking them in different chunks has different impacts on your revenues, obviously. And then your standard monthly rate would be up to $265 in scenario 2.5 at the end of the 3rd year. But where that leaves your fund balance is scenario 2 only left you at about 68% of where you wanted to be. And scenario 2.5 with the different tweaks leads you about 86% of your targeted fund balance. So still below really where your target is, but closer to feeling secure with that. And then just to take a look at the details a little bit more. Another one of the adjustments was taking the $5 cap off of all facilities except Library Lane. Library Lane's your newest, nicest garage, but it's also your least utilized. So having that $5 evening cap is a chance to get people who are price conscious into that garage and leave more space in some of the other garages for your visitors and other people who might come downtown. And again, minimal increases in the limited overnight and trying to stay in that meter with the recommendations from Walker on the meter increases. So one more slide, just to show you where we're at, what's current is $1.20 an hour, with working towards getting towards that $1.80 by year 3. Again, the Library Lane changes and some other, the surface lots, the metered lots have some increases as well. So, any questions on that?
This again is the current enforcement hours, not considering any kind of nighttime enforcement at this point.
Correct.
Or extension of those hours.
Yep, yes. It's keeping things the way they are. Obviously, if you were to extend enforcement hours in the evening, there'd be more revenue.
Right.
But we don't know what that might be.
My understanding is that we don't have good enough data on usage of those meter spots after hours to model what impacts that would be.
No, because they're all full, because they're all free.
Right.
And so any current data that we have, that's 100% full. But obviously, if you start charging, that's gonna change some. We can do
Yeah, for sure.
an estimate.
Well, thanks for coming back with that. I think 2.5 addressed some of the comments we heard in the work session about affordability and limited, and trying to get closer to that fund balance target. Any other questions? John, comments?
Appreciate seeing
No,
that.
I feel like you really heard the feedback we gave. I'm impressed with what you were able to thread back together in between the 2 and the 3 based on the conversations we had.
Thank you.
Yeah.
John's a master at running the software.
Thank you for putting it together.
Thank you.
What was
Can I make a comment?
Yes, one comment from Maureen, sorry.
Just one more thing on the evening enforcement. I just want you all to know that it's something we're talking about, and when we're thinking about our parking strategy,